Hello friend and welcome back. Today we are talking about Sachi States of Skin Complexion Clarifying Accelerator. Full disclosure, this was one of the two products I got in PR from Sachi States of Skin. I had never tried their product line, but I was sort of aware of it peripherally. I love their philosophy towards melanated skin. There's a lot that I really like about it. Their whole philosophy is just very cool, and they have some very innovative formulas. So I was very excited when I got the offer to try this out. They didn't ask for a review or anything like that. They just offered it to me to try, and try I did. I have loved this. Cat's out of the bag. It is a wonderful exfoliating product. You can use it a few different ways, and we'll talk about that, but let's just dive into it. I love this package. It's cute, and it's a little pump bottle, and yeah, it's great packaging, and this honey colored, and it has honey in it, so that's why it's honey colored, one of the reasons. Honey colored gel serum. It's mildly moisturizing, hydrating. It can feel a little bit sticky if you kind of over layer it, but there's just a quick layering, and it has this kind of, I don't know, sweet, spicy scent to it. It is very herbal. It is not a fragrance product, not a scented product specifically, but just the botanicals that are in it, and they have a lot of great botanicals, give it a scent. And I really like, yeah, I've come to like that scent, and I come to look forward to it when I use this. It's just a very relaxing, nice scent, and it has a little bit of warming to the skin, a little bit of a tingle. Stay with me, sensitive skin friends. You know, if you've watched this channel at all, that I don't deal well with strong alpha hydroxy acids, anything that is tingly or spicy on my skin, and I run the other direction. But I wanted to give this a good try because their whole philosophy is that they're good to sensitive skin. They're respectful of the different states of skin, which is part of their whole thing. And that is just something I can totally get behind because I have been through some states of skin. And my skin today is not what it was 5 years ago or 10 years ago. And depending on my stress level and depending on just everything, that there are different states of skin, and you need to be respectful of that and nourish your skin appropriately and treat it appropriately. So I decided to give it a try because that first time I put it on, I was like, oh no, this is an active, spicy product. I'm not gonna like this. I am fully ready for tomorrow or the next day my skin to be peeling, my eczema to be broken out and angry, but it never has. And I mean, I am slightly biased because they sent me this for free, and that comes with its own like internal bias, but I am telling you point blank, I have continued using this out of my own desire to, because I see wonderful results, and I will tell you some things about this. It's kind of witchcraft. Like, they have managed to have a really powerful exfoliating experience without pushing it too far, so it is respectful and it's nourishing and it's calming on the flip side, so you can get these really powerful results without pushing skin too far, even when your skin is a little more irritable and ready for a fight, really. So I have loved it. I'm going to read you a little bit from the website and the packaging because it will set the stage for what we're going to talk about. It says, the Accelerator is a new generation multitasking 12.5% enzyme acid blend of dioic, mandelic, salicylic acids, and pomegranate enzymes that help fade discolorations faster and promote skin renewal. It also works to smoothen uneven skin texture and the appearance of lines and wrinkles whilst combating hormonal breakouts. Skin replenishing Manuka honey, UMF 20+, glycerin, and Gotu cola work to hydrate and strengthen the skin's barriers. That sounds like a lot, right? We're talking about like hormonal breakouts. We're talking about hydrating, strengthening the skin's barrier, smoothing uneven skin texture, appearance of lines and wrinkles, fading discolorations, and promoting skin renewal. So a lot there, and I will tell you, it hit all those points for me, and it continues to. That's why I seek it out. I have been able to use this everywhere from, like a full pump and just leaving it on and sleeping in it. And the next morning, my skin is softer, pores are less congested. It just looks brighter and happier. And I am still on a melasma journey. So every time I use this to its full dosage, I see that my melasma is lighter because it's doing some exfoliation overnight, and it's also brightening. And I think that's a bigger discussion. The melasma journey has reached a really nice point, so I think this has been a big part of it. Also, its friend. Let's break down some of the ingredients because there are a lot of familiar friendlies. There are a couple of novel ingredients, but they do a great job of encapsulating their ingredients, and their delivery systems, like we've talked about before, are how they get all of these really active ingredients to the right levels of skin, the right depths of skin, and where they need to go to be active without just blowing it away with these super high concentrations that are going to cause irritation for anybody. So delivery systems matter. Mandelic acid, we know that it's going to be antimicrobial. It's an alpha hydroxy acid. It's a big one, so it's going to sit on the surface and be a little more gentle. It also helps with fungal acne, and it helps with post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, going to help brighten those up. And I mean, we're just looking to it for some gentle exfoliation and some anti-acne to kind of rebalance the microbiome on the skin. Pomegranate enzymes, that's going to help break down the glue that holds on to the dead skin. Pomegranate's also got some nice antioxidants and some brightening going on. Manuka honey, it's going to be very soothing, antimicrobial. It can have some brightening and antioxidant properties to it. Glycolic acid, it's a classic, and yet I can use it in this formula because it's not a super high percentage that's just stripping away your skin. It's your gold standard in alpha hydroxys. It's going to get really nice and deep in the skin, especially with their delivery system, so that you get collagen stimulating benefits as well as that deep exfoliation. Salicylic acid, good friend to congested pores, and dioic acid, or octadecydioic acid is the long one. It's also antimicrobial. That one's one of the cooler ones because you don't see it in a whole lot of products. I've seen it in like Allies for Skin. Its role in skincare was discovered when formulators were looking for an alternative to azelaic acid because it's so tricky and fussy to formulate with. They were looking for something that's similar. Dioic acid is a carboxylic acid. We're not going to go there, but just know that it's very similar cousin to azelaic acid. So antimicrobial, great for rosacea, eczema, any of those microbiome imbalances. It is olive derived, anti-inflammatory. It's also going to help soften the skin because it is an acid. It also has this unique feature of how it inhibits melanin. So it's a competitive inhibitor for melanin synthesis. Just know that it's not just your traditional tyrosinase inhibitor. It's gonna have a different approach, which means we're gonna have better reduction in melasma and hyperpigmentation because it's not just using the same pathway that everything else is. Speaking of brightening, we have some licorice root extract. It's got centella extract, gluconolactone, which is going to help you with your brightening, and it's a polyhydroxy acid, so very, very gentle exfoliation, and black cumin oil, which is anti-inflammatory and great for rosacea and psoriasis in the way that it's antimicrobial because it just, again, helps rebalance your microbiome so that the good guys stick around, but the bad guys get kicked out. That's great, right? Wonderful ingredients, great delivery system. What are we going to get out of it and how do we use it? Well, you can use it 1 to 3 times a night. I have even been able to use it every single night for a week or so, here and there. Not consistently, but here and there. I didn't stop because my skin got irritated. I just stopped because I got to a nice glowy point, and I have learned my lesson about over exfoliating. So I'm sure that if you have really resilient skin, you might be able to use this every single night or every single day, probably not twice a day. That feels like overkill. Their delivery systems are nice and time release, so just use this once a day at most. But when I'm just looking for that glow up, I feel like things are looking a little dull, I will put a full pump over my face and then just the tiniest little, like a quarter pump on my neck, so that they're balanced, and it helps with razor bumps. It helps with brightening. My skin looks instantly more luminous. Well, the next morning. It looks more luminous the next morning once it's done its job. When I put it on, I just look, like normal before bed. Very greasy and covered in 85 different serums, but It also helps with penetration. So when your skin is nicely exfoliated and properly exfoliated, all of your products penetrate better into your skin. And so you see the results of those better. That's really just any good exfoliant. If you're nice and balanced and it's not irritating your skin, you're going to see your other products work harder. And I think this is a perfect example of what a balanced exfoliant with advanced delivery systems should be. You can use it, see a really quick effect. You can also use it in smaller amounts. Like if I'm doing it like regularly, I feel like I'm more congested, or it's just like stress time, something like that, because it definitely does help with stress related breakouts that I get. I'm getting them more often these days, but it's helping keep them at bay. But yeah, when I'm feeling extra stressed, I will use like a half a pump and just dilute it in another serum, put it all over my face, and use that kind of every other day. And it seems to just keep the breakouts at bay, keeps my skin nice and calmed and balanced and clear without pushing it too far. And it doesn't upset my other serums. It doesn't upset anything else that I'm using in my routine. So kudos, that is not easy to do all of those acids and enzymes in one formula and not have it like pill or overdo or anything. It just slips nicely into my routine. Other things to note, there's no animal testing with any of the Sachi skin products. I like that they are considerate of melanin-rich skin tones and the specifics that come along with that. I love that they're using Ayurvedic medicine, blending that herbal world with sciencey world and finding the perfect balance. You know that that's my jam. I love their education. They do a lot of education on their website that just tells you all about the details of delivery mechanisms and why these ingredients are important and how they work together. I love any company that really makes an effort to educate their consumer and not like shove it down your throat. Their products are simple enough to understand. You can just pick it up and run with it if you don't want to read all the things. So this says use 1 to 3 times a week to boost skin clarity and renewal, or gradually increase use to maintain clear skin. Always use SPF in the morning, avoid contact with eyes. I love that. That's simple. It tells me what it's going to do. And then when I was ready to nerd out, I went to their website and could just dig through all of their thought process and the beautiful way that they've formulated this. So just another brand that I've fallen in love with. Let's talk about pricing. It is $78 US. This is a 30 milliliter or 1 fluid ounce airless pump container. It is reasonably recyclable, and it's also available in a kit with these two. There was a Black Friday deal, but still, the kit is always available, I believe, for a slightly reduced price than if you bought the two separately. Also, just Sachi States of Skin is so good about education, and they have like a hyperpigmentation ebook that you can get. I'm just so excited to have actually tried this line because I've fallen in love with it. It really fits my skin and my journey of mild congestion and hyperpigmentation and needing to be gentle to my skin and liking that balance of botanical and more sciencey technology and education. It's just everything I could want in a brand. I'm loving it. So give it a try if that sounds like you, and stay tuned because their Triphala pigmentation corrector, multi-reparative peptide, and brightening concentrate I'm going to review that shortly because that's another one that I have loved. Spoiler alert. Until next time, my friend, be well.